Welcome. There's going to be a lot of information in today's video about raising guinea fowl. Most of the information was obtained from an article that was put out by University of Kentucky in cooperation with the Department of Agriculture. So a few photos to start. This is Rosemary looking at the Keats. I believe they're about 1 to 2 weeks old there. And then here they are now, 6 weeks old. Guineas are native to Africa, and they're definitely not a chicken. People keep guinea fowl for many different reasons. One reason people have guineas is for show. Poultry shows have a class for guinea fowl. Of course, for their eggs and their meat, but also for their feathers. And for farm watch protection, they'll sound an alarm when anything unusual happens. And the one great reason for guineas is for insect control. Guineas eat bugs, ticks, grasshoppers, flies, crickets, slugs, and other insects. So because of that, people use them to prevent Lyme disease, which is carried in the deer population. They're also great for snake and rodent control. Because they're noisy, it discourages the rodents from invading your area. Guineas operate as a flock, and so they've been able to locate snakes and kill them before they can hurt you. And unlike chickens, they don't scratch the dirt, so that's good for gardens. They're pretty much able to fend for themselves, and their droppings are less offensive. There's one more reason for guineas. Guineas are very curious and interesting animals. I'm looking forward to seeing them running around. There's 3 colors for exhibition helmeted guineas: pearl gray, white, and lavender, and we chose the pearl gray. And there's a mature pearl gray helmeted guinea on the right side there. They're usually quiet, but they can be really noisy if they're disturbed. Here's an example. You're a little flustered by the sound of the door. Here's a diagram of the body parts of the guinea fowl and some descriptions there. Pause the video if you like. So when it comes to their care and their housing, the main thing you want to consider is keep their home dry. So here they're in their first home, and those are water bottles that we put hot water in and wrap in paper towels, and that keeps them warm. It's an alternative to using a heat lamp. Decided to bring them outside today for a little bit. This is their first experience of sunshine, direct sunshine. Here comes a kitten. Let's see how this goes. Be careful. So the birds are finally on the dirt. And then here they are, 6 weeks old, which is right about now. And you can see they've grown really quickly. Guineas are able to fly at a young age, so it's best if they're outside and you want to keep them in, have a cover. They might fly off. So if you have chickens, it's not a great idea to put the male guineas with the roosters for too long, because the male guineas will chase them away from the water and the food. If you're keeping them for eggs, there should be nesting boxes. And it's best to keep them inside until noon so they lay their eggs inside rather than hiding them somewhere outside. And always keep fresh water for them. Best to start with young Keats, day old. This one here is 3 days old. Not easy to tell whether they're male or female, and you actually have to wait till they're older to determine. And you do that by the way they make sound and the way they look. We found our guineas locally, but they can be purchased online and sent through the mail, because when they're first born, they can live 48 hours without food or water. It's important to understand they need 2 to 3 square feet of indoor space. The more space they have, the less stress they feel. Once they have all their feathers, they can handle extreme weather pretty well. Although their main diet is insects, they do enjoy a little feed thrown on the ground once in a while. But for best insect control, restrict their food and they'll eat more bugs. They do not like to be away from their flock, and they're very good runners. They actually prefer this method for getting around. Their nutrition needs vary. When they're very young, it's a good idea to get a starter feed, and that helps their brain and muscle development. One important note when choosing the feed is not to get them medicated feed. The ingredients are toxic to guineas. When guineas are in the wild, they typically will mate in pairs. And a guinea hen won't go broody until the nest has about 30 eggs. And then one of them will sit on them. And the incubation period is 26 to 28 days. That concludes the information portion of this video. Here's a picture of the guineas while they're learning to roost. And this one here is checking out the doorway out. In this video, the guineas are anticipating the move. We're getting ready to put them into the new coop, and they've heard us building it for about a week. And here's where they're headed. So our idea was to lift it over the bricks and gently coax them down the hillside here. This video is sped up. Took a little longer than this. They were pretty cooperative. And I'll conclude this video with Rosemary keeping a watchful eye on these birds. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.